what you bargained for. It will be a number that you would like to explore, and you can forget about it. You were en routed and dislocated from the place where you had the disadvantage in mind. Some of these leverages points to lift you off the headache and the adversity that you can add up to. Calculate these mathematics, these statics. You guys said it inside the chart of the retardation of you retardation. These are handicapped, federated, mind constipated of your bullshit. These are something I have to deal with. Places that I've never known before. Close my eyes and get to the highs of these concentrated ways that I can find these walls and walls. Don't sleep on
The
me.
rent is getting too high, and I don't want to mention. Maybe it's mentioned. The rent is getting too high, and I don't want to mention. Maybe it's mentioning. The rent is getting too high, and I don't want to mention. The rent is getting too high, and I don't want to mention. Maybe it's mentioning the men. The invention of you. The rent is getting too high, and I don't want to mention. Maybe it's mentioning.
The rent is getting too high, and I don't want to mention. Maybe it's mentioning the men and the invention of your patriarchy. The rent is getting too high, and I don't want to mention. Maybe it's mentioning the men and the invention of your patriarchy. Maybe it was Pat. Maybe it was the Patriots.
The rent is getting too high.
The rent is getting too high, and I don't want to. The rent is getting too. The rent is getting too high, and I don't want to mention. Maybe it's mentioning the men and the invention of your patriarchy, or maybe it was Pat. The rent is getting too high, and I don't want to mention. Maybe it's mentioning the men and the invention of your patriarchy. Maybe it was Pat. Or maybe it was the Patriots. Maybe it was some a little bit that couldn't read and read me wrong. Maybe it was a song. Maybe it was the lyrics that you couldn't feel. For Jason's lyrics were just a place between here, the scary movie. We can find something theatrical between the virtual reality and maybe the reality within the spirit, or the spirituality, or the ability to be able to be capable. Or to be Wi-Fi or analog. There's no digital place between here and you dig me. There's a place where it matters. I come from the antimatter. I come from things you can't see like the wind blows. This is me finding moving through the movement like God. I am the word that connect the energy of me. Nothing without the synchronization. I'm wearing my mask like no masquerade. These are the places. Fast forward the parade and move in the direction. Opposite. For the place of you could deposit your brains into ways of finding you. The hypnotist and the hypocrisy, the place where you think you're hip. I come from that blood. Not that I'm a crip or a don't wanna bang, no hanging in the corner or across or for the wood. I wish you would, nigga, you would be lost. And I, God will find you where you're lost, lost where you found like a coat on the ground. Kid in the third buried, the place in the elementary. It's elementary, it's apparent you need more apparent. Apparent that you have parents that you didn't want to listen to. Maybe you had ears, maybe if you had a concentration you could comprehend. Maybe if it wasn't too complicated, you could just lend a hand. This is the place where I recommend to have a recreational part before you have an intelligence. Maybe it was your intel that you find that you can't wait to tell about. Maybe it was the ignorance that you could find a rant about. Maybe it was the words you could break down. I am your Instagram. I will give you a gram, but instantly like a minute man. Alright, chair right on time like every rhyme and everything that's witty. Walk cross bridges like Walt Whitman did. I am more than talk walk like I got big halves. I have and I have nots. I come from that rock bottom. There is not the bumper clots, but those for the adversity you find God. It's the odd and symmetry. It's the balance. It's the talent that's in the talentry. It's the ramps. It's those who can and can't and understand the contractions. The newborn. It's the child. It's the development. It's yours. It's the black. It's the black and miles in the cigarette industry. It's the bottom of the barrel of the whiskey. It's the everything that we can find within a sparrow with a message. And somebody shot it down with the guns that they couldn't afford but had it behind the Ford. There's a pour coming out of you, pouring out of the tears inside your, coming out of your eyes, and you could see it out of your intuitive side. And your mother was an astrology sign, and your father was the same thing too. You come from the bloodline, and the genetics is the same as the genes that you wear. You sag because you can brag about everything that you don't care for, like you were meta world peace or a metaphor or a stereotype coming out loud like a stereo player or a radio or a player with a stereo or steering your place in the place where you don't belong like a crash dummy. you're dummy, you're gonna crash and end up in the middle of the night with a broken jaw, or the hands of life, or the police and cops will come in the middle of the night and beat you with their batons, like you were in Louisiana in the Baton or Baton Rouge, or beat by Christmas time by Uncle Scrooge, or you're lost in the bet and gonna get beat 2 times, double black eyes, like you're placing the bet and you're gonna lose, or you're a loser just for losing, or being lost, or not being able to find what you placed, or it's nobody's fault but yours, like you lived in California and gave the grace. You're the place of pacer, you're the place of trace of transparency, you're the transit wrap, you're the transportation, you're the synergy, or some kombucha that you could find inside the vinegar, with the place in the water, with the elements that you could come from your daughter. This is the martyr. This is the homage. This is the place where you can find the comma. This is the period. This is the answer. This is the truth. This is the fiction. This is the story. This is the tale. I don't want to tell you his story or hers. And this is the word. This is the word up. This is the everything to right, but then the right ons, and you're on and off, or you're right on. Word up, and niggas are left out. This is the place where you ascend, or you down and grounded, or grounded and compound. Compound is too complicated. This is the more than a word or a double figure.
this nation as its half as tight. Like in my asshole and you're a vagina. Use a Facebook, Virginia. This is North Carolina. I'm Caroline, you're Caroline. You're gonna come cleaner than a Clorox. You're the rapping on the beatbox. I'm the balance symmetry and you're the unorthodox. I'm the unauthorization or in the zip. And the chairman, the CEO, and the cereal, and the Oreos. I'm all the sweets. I'm the the man that's alive and the diabetes. I'm the man in the middle and the committee. I'm complicated as in one titty's bigger than the other titty. There's one boot that looks cuter than the other cuticle. There's a cute orange that I like to tell you is a different color. The one that's the color is the one that you wear that's easier to take off because the one is gonna be hard to put on. I'm hard to get put on. I'm turning about like I was flipping a bitch. I can hit this dick and hit the knife that it will cut you with. I'm a cutthroat. I'm too broke and throat and don't have words or lungs to say it. My chakra is dead and I'm about to spray it like I was a Windex bottle. Yes, you can. I'm sock in a hollow place inside of your mouth. And there's a place that will leave you called lost outer space without a race or trace where you are. Like people transparent. None of my breath, none of my words, none of my truth and understanding over you. There's a place where nobody is trying to break my neck, looking up to you, and you don't break your back for me. I don't want to be an app on your phone, or look in your apology, or your app, or your applications, or maybe it was the stagnation that you try to find me. I never had it, never was a stagnation. Stallion barely made it to the outcome. I'm coming out, I'm coming in, I'm coming. I got some income and employment, and maybe they're employed. Can give me some M&M's, I'ma enjoy. The joy like an almond. I'm in almond joy and the butter with the coconut. Behind to be hydrated with this water. I'ma slaughter everybody that cries. Mess with my daughter, not to make sense. I can find it, I don't want to bother, but nothing relevant to everything. It doesn't matter, it's still my intelligence. This is the piece of my passion. This is not passion for Christ. This is not passion for Christ. Ancestor, this is not about people let me live like I can hang with a minute with a corner store down in the corner.
Maybe you read about it, or maybe you read
it with a corner like this is the way
this is not the vibration. Maybe
this is not your reference.
Maybe you couldn't see me.
You're not pasture shepherd to the sheep.
Wasn't showing my third
Something within the deeper that rocking my heart is inside of this. You can find the adversity in God. You can find something harder than normalcy. This is not
maybe I'm gonna tell you something that I'm a prophet. I have eyes to see like that was the television. I'm trying to tell you like I vision.
This is not the common or
maybe I got a third eye. It's the third time I tell you.
This is not something for you to talk about because you're not black and from this nationality. I'm not a technicality, I'm technical. I'm not advanced, I'm blue study, technology, science, and mystical, Christ conscious, and everlasting evangelical. I am more than an empathetic or an apology or empathetical or pathetical or pathetic or pessimistic or pestilent or rodent. I'm not a rat and I'm not a mouse. I'm not a computer and I'm not at your house. I'm not at your desk and I'm not a boy. I'm not
they married you
like sprinkle irony. These are the places where you find between me
or step
we are
the
equal people.
what color that was
We are the sequel and
enslavement, more than slavery, place, more than a place we
investigation, some scientific experiment that you can X the alphabet. I bet you were taking a different route.
Those who crept,
exercise
who
like
have
You
bread,
were
laid
Wi-Fi
alive,
looking for
those
the
who
routing
slept,
number, the
those
number
in
that
peace,
routes
and those are not the least.
on your lottery.
Your niece,
This is the place to find something, or the directions to be.
there were stories and you can find them.
Notions,
Lateral,
receiving,
the collateral that you're gonna get from
situation will leave you.
who's hurt,
for you.
Mother
Way that
Earth,
you can afford it.
Earth is worth something we care about.
And for you can be
Whereabouts,
information
yours, sustainability
can
of
be
lives, the
affirmative,
and everything that
be
you
adjourned.
on the shore here,
We need
stand by
to be
lighthouse,
spermicidal genocide. Maybe you can be the blood or
with a
condoms up between the thighs. Or maybe you could be the complicated situation in a sperm man and the seed, the sperm,
so
or
keep you away
the
from your soul. Be
vulnerability or the
maybe
vulnerable place that's able to be a boner.
Jordan's not worried.
Or a boner in the morning when you died and cried about it. I cried about it because I'm a storyteller.
Or maybe it's
Tell
more for the
stories
purpose
like
of the season of the Christmas or
I'm
reef
sure
around the door for the
or
opportunity
grander than that.
for the special ops.
Grand bar. I
For the
speak
cops.
bars that I
Or just
talk
to be
about
there.
and walk about
Like
where I
you
care
were
about.
King
Like I
Rodney.
was
Or
a security
God
guard
or spirit
inside of a
within
grocery
me.
store.
Without me,
I'll put you on
wouldn't wanna
a
be. Without
shelf.
me, I couldn't be.
Put you on a block,
translucent
put
like
you in
fluid,
the
liquid,
hood,
water,
put you on
I'm
not
ocean.
getting shot like you
Bumper
were
clock,
safety
in a
belt,
drop, I'm all.
or a safety
All one,
on a
I am.
metal
All's
clip,
one, we are.
or a
R,
clip on
my
to
letter.
keep
B,
your
all you
keys
can.
safe,
Bruner, it's my last
or
name.
to
These are acronyms.
harm
I
your
am
money
not
like I was
that.
breaking in a safe,
I'm tripping. These
or
are
I'm shopping at Safeway still in my
my
shopping
These are
cart.
still in my life.
My cartilage is holding truth in my
These are
hand.
my break beats.
Ready.
These are my breakdowns. These
Be
are
asked the
my
question,
breaking ups.
paper,
These are my
plastic,
breaking it all. Breaking it to pieces and filtering
I
everything
got
I
a
can
place
break
in my story.
inside of my hand.
I got a
holding
place
it
in
like
my
her.
story.
I was crying.
I got a place in my stories.
Around fumbling over the
I got a
words.
place in my story,
Maybe
a
it was the
story to
surge.
tell you about, the
Maybe
place
it was
where I
that
come
surge
from,
in
the
the
place
surge.
from the cerebrum and the cerebellum, and the place where the female is blind high.
Maybe it was the song.
Stone.
It was incomplete.
This is the place where I had a
bones.
bone.
Maybe
Dirty
it was
air
the
got washed with blood.
and maybe the cow could cry.
It's no gangster story or nothing like that, but
grass fields
as
where they
it
eat
is
at.
below,
And
it
maybe
is
was the
above.
table, part of the elements and now the table.
Maybe it was that I was
maybe
in
I
the
was
orbital.
able, maybe I was able, or
I was
able,
in orbit,
or I had a
or-
cane like Big Daddy. And
This is the place where-
and the Cadillacs and the revolutions and then
This is not a race or a space or something, a trace that you can find like tracing paper or tracing. It's transparent that it's a transgender. Maybe if you weren't on Tinder, you could be more sympathetic or have authenticity or be a citizen from this city or be committed to the committee. How about the city council or the councilman or council elect or the elections or those that you vote without finding sovereignty? Sovereignty to have everything but the Seoul reunion. This is unity or this is the unity, you're communist. Or is this the unified school district or teaching you the education to find you subliminally miseducated or like he was a marriage to the words or casting spells that you couldn't read or spell about or tell about like you were told off. Somebody told you not to tell what you did because you spoke about like you was from Spokane, Washington, and you washed a ton of your soap in your mouth for talking that shit that you couldn't have the muscles to carry inside of your muscle because the tissues and the issues that you had were the place where you didn't register for that and sign people up for that. I'm not an abstract guy for the abstract. This makes me the lacking or the rapture or that rap that I don't care about or don't see your whereabouts or where you are, where a star is because the illumination that I have is too much to blind the eyes. I must be found for the eye can see I and I may lay between the truth and the lies and the rhyme in the middle with the hard place with a narrow path where you can find the truth and the light. The light may be the truth and if you understand the understanding of alchemy, maybe this is the place where you can understand the division between here in the S-O-N as a rest and the resurrection of esoteric. Maybe it was the lyrics or maybe it was the vibration or maybe it was the light or maybe it was the concentration. Maybe it was the consciousness or maybe it was complicated. Maybe it was the compound inside of that barn. Maybe inside of that farm. Inside of that song, inside that conceptual, immaculate conception. Or maybe it was the direction or the perception or maybe it was perception or paying attention. Or maybe you can afford to live inside of a good neighborhood, or maybe you had neighbors, or maybe that was a bad thing and the grid that were replaced with a city, the metropolitan, or maybe you were metro or indo or indigo. Maybe you smoking the indigo, or maybe you can go inside the house and not go with in and out like you were a little kid and you know what I'm talking about. Like you had ears that work. These are the place where my future hurts. My future is worth the value of that. My love for myself and everybody else with the all for one formula. It's the format I have. It's the encode nation. It's the whole nation under a code and a spell. An entire oppression under another oppression. And I'm guessing the question is more than a hypothetical situation. It's a hyperblast. It's a supernova. It's a nova like you were super old. It's a story that was been told too many times that was never supposed to be. It's the misinterpretation of a psychology, or it's an apology, or it's an app, or it's that crap that will make you sit on the porcelain. You're gonna break that like you were a break beat and break dancing. You're gonna break meat like you were break fast and breaking peace like you were breaking beef. These are places before Christ in the timeline, like a Christmas tree or a Christmas wreath. Reese's Pieces or a piece of Reese that didn't have peace, but he had a lease, and he had a right, and he had a left. And took his breath away with that jab from Randolph or from Rudolph or that nose that was hung in the air. This is the place where abstract comes from any county or mountain or Montclair. It don't care, it don't matter. Tell it to your Teddy Ruxpin.